Yes, sir, baby, on the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. Another incredible artist out of Harlem, Raina Simone in the building with me. What's up?
I'm feeling good. How
Welcome
you doing,
to the show.
Gabe? Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you here. I've had so
happy to be
many
here.
incredible artists out of Harlem lately, and I've had so many incredible female MCs come up here, and I'm so excited that you're here with me today.
I'm happy too. Let's do it. I'm excited.
Yo, it's been crazy because I've been listening to like your music, watching your freestyles, and like it's like the way that you rap, and I just gotta say this off the bat, it's just like so. It's like literally. I mean, obviously, rap is based in poetry, and but like it's just poetic. Even the way you speak, even like when we were speaking before this, I'm like, yo, I'm speaking to a real poet here.
No, I love
it's
poetry.
Beautiful.
That's my first love. Thank you. No, I definitely think that rap is rooted in poetry, and so I started off as a poet, and then of course just putting poetry to music. That's my thing. That's how I express myself. So.
Oh, really? So you got like start off as like just writing poetry, not like with the intention of making music.
No, it's always been with the intention of making music,
Okay.
but I've always had an understanding that rap at its utmost core is poetry. So
right.
I think I see it that way.
Right. And I think the way that you just rap and the way that you piece together some of the records you have, it's like really special because it was really giving me like Rhapsody vibes, and like I was kind of getting those vibes when I was listening to your music. But like obviously you coming through way different because you're from New York. So like there's like a obviously
little swag on
yeah,
it.
the little extra swag is in there, the little extra
Shout out
energy
to
is in
Rhapsody
there.
though.
But so okay, so I want to get like your full history. So how did you first start getting like into writing poetry? Like who first put you on? How did we kind of get to that point?
For sure. You know what? I am a huge lover of Tupac. I love Tupac. And I've always just really studied prose and you know, idioms and like homonyms. And I guess I would dissect Tupac's poetry and Tupac's raps rather, but I would dissect them as if I was dissecting poetry.
Right.
Especially in school, I used to always hate the fact that I felt like they were throwing Eurocentric ideologies in our face, and so all of these, you know, Mark Twain's and all these other Caucasian poets and writers that I just did not want to read
Couldn't
about.
relate to
Couldn't relate to
yeah.
them at all. And so I used to always choose Tupac pieces, and then I used to apply that to whatever they were telling me to do with the other poetry. You know, sometimes that would lead to a failing grade, but nonetheless, I got the lesson, you know. But yes, I would say that's where it really, really started, just dissecting Tupac's poetry, and then it grew into dissecting Kanye West lyrics, and just I guess just applying the English language and applying things that you would apply to poetry to rap music. So
that's a great explanation. Shit, that might be one of the best explanations we ever had on this show. So how old were you when you first really got into writing poetry?
Probably third grade, so I think
Okay.
like 8 years old. That's when I fell in love with Changes by Tupac, and that's when I realized that I think that I could really piece together my feelings and emotions better through words and spoken than, you know, writing or in any other form. That was really my form of expression. So third grade is when I knew I wanted to be a rapper, and then after that I ended up becoming a producer. I ended up producing, and so it all kind of fell together once I started making beats, and then once I realized how poetry sounds over beats, I fell in love with it even more.
So who was the first, or like when was the first time you stepped in a booth?
First time I stepped in a booth, I think, was my high school year, 10th grade.
Okay.
So there was quite a gap in between there. But first time I stepped in a booth, 10th grade. We're not going to talk about that song. That song
You got to tell me what was the name of the song? What was the name of the song?
What was that song called? Well, the very first song I did was called Whatever It Takes.
Okay.
I got clowned for it like crazy, and so I was scared to ever release music again for a very long time. I actually, last year, so 2021 was really the first year that I started releasing
right,
music.
which I peeped, yeah.
Yeah, so I was scared before then because I released this record when I was very, very young that I'd produced and tried to record myself, even though I was in the booth.
Right.
And yeah, it was a crazy sounding song, and I got clowned for it.
In high school?
In high school.
Man, but high schoolers are assholes regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were just mean to people in high school for no reason anyway.
It's true. And I was public enemy number one at my high school anyway. So
why were you public enemy number one?
I always had a lot to say.
Oh, okay.
I always had something to say. And I always still have something to say, but
now you're doing it through music.
now I'm doing it through music, so
which I love. Can you spit me a few bars from that first song?
Oh man, you know what's crazy? It was actually a love song. It wasn't even. It wasn't even sociopolitically conscious or anything like that. But I was rapping about love. Let's see, what was it?
Just give me a line from.
Give you a line real quick. I gotta think. Shoot,
how
how did
it
it start?
Y'all know the record?
They better not know it.
Look at their faces.
Y'all better not know that record. Say I don't get it. So say you don't get it, so I don't have to explain. I know the game. You want me to take the blame. Must have forgot the way you played. I give a F about what you say now. Still trying to slide on me like a playground. No, I stayed down. You were a lost soul. You found me trying to find yours. I lost myself trying to find you, and lost you once I found out who I was too. I just got my little heart broken a little bit.
I see that. I see.
Yeah,
You was going through some.
It was one
real,
of those songs.
That was some real pain music. I felt the pain behind that. I was like, damn, but that's good. Like,
It was one of those
why was they
songs.
clowning you on it?
You know what? I think it was part of it. I think was the sonic quality, but also
Okay.
I wasn't as mature in my sound yet, and so I think that's very important as an artist too, to be able to
Right.
develop your sound until you're really comfortable in what it is that you want to say, and you know how you want to say it, and you know how you're trying to approach your craft. So I was really still just trying to figure it out back then. But 10th grade was the first time I stepped in a booth, and yeah, from then I just kept growing and growing with the craft, and I wouldn't really show people, but I would definitely still hone in on my craft and make sure that it was mastered to the point at least where I felt it was mastered. I'm somebody who feels like if I'm going to be a jack of a trade, I have to be a master of that same trade. So I don't like to do anything half-ass. So
I feel that. So last year is like kind of when you felt like you would be like, all right, cool. Like I have like some sort of mastery of this. Now I feel comfortable.
And I think as an artist, you're always still growing. So I don't ever want to say that I've mastered something because I feel like as soon as I say that I've mastered something, that means there's nothing else for me to learn anymore within that area. So definitely always going to be still learning. But I felt like I had a strong enough grasp to the point where mastering was close in range. So I felt comfortable starting to release things.
That's dope. But like, as you should feel comfortable, because like the music that you're putting out, like it's good.
Thank
You know what I'm
you.
saying?
Thank
Like you just got played on the radio the other day. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations.
Thank
of
you.
course.
That was super, super exciting.
That's a big moment for you. And like
Absolutely.
even like the music that you're putting out right now, like there is like a really big audience for it. You know what I'm saying? Not just in New York, but around the country. And like your sound is so unique. Like, you know, like I mentioned like the Rhapsody thing, but you know, you got a little more, you know, you got that New York swag to you. So like I think that like that alone puts you in your own lane by yourself. That kind of like, I don't know. And I think that with the music that you're putting out too, you also have like such like a poetry to the words and the way and your delivery that's just different.
And you know what? That's one thing too. I actually don't write to beats. So people always speak about how, you know, they think my flow is a little bit different and it sounds like poetry. I think one of the reasons as to why that is because I don't write to beats at all. So I actually just sit and will write poetry and write things that rhyme, and then
Wow.
I'll apply it rhythmically to whatever beat, you know, might be playing or whatever beat I might make the next day.
Wow.
And I'll do it that way. But I feel like when you sit and write to a beat, I don't know. There's so much structure that you almost can't flow the same way. You can't feel
You're thinking
it the
too much
same way.
about it a little bit too.
Yeah, so I like to.
Do you
do
feel
it
like
that
when
way
you're
too.
writing like off the beat, like obviously you're not listening to the beat when you're writing, but do you ever feel like, do you have to like do a lot of revisions when you actually record over the beat? Like how does that kind of work from not writing while listening to the beat to then transitioning to recording over the beat or what you just written?
You know
or
what?
you
I
just
think
written?
it's a matter of innate rhythm. And
Okay.
so I feel like, you know, if you have the rhythm in you, you're going to be able to deliver it in such a way where it catches certain pockets or certain cadences are heard. But, you know, also I will say that it is going to be slightly off beat, so it's not going to be tangible to every single person's ear,
right.
too, which is something that you have to acknowledge and sort of be okay with. But it does make it unique, and it does create a certain sort of sound that I think is very different right now.
Right. And like, you know, there are a lot of artists in very different lanes who do rap off beat too, you know what I'm saying? Like obviously we all know like Blueface years ago, like when he first came out, everybody was like Blueface be rapping off beat, and then shout out my guy 450 in Queens, he be rapping a little off the beat too. But like I like people who rap off the beat like them, like yourself, like that music is still very fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's about the delivery, about the energy, about the cadence, about everything, about the wordplay, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
Most
That really
definitely.
kind of like what helps make that record too.
And I think it makes people listen to what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people are like, okay, she might be rapping a little off beat, but let me hear what she's talking
Yeah,
about.
they're trying to figure out where you're going with it, and then you're like, okay, well maybe if I listen to the words, okay.
Yeah, and you have a couple singles out now, right? You just dropped The System not too long ago. With these records, like when you're writing this poetry, like what type of space are you in? Like what kind of like gets you in this space where you're like, all right, I'm gonna pick up this pen, I'm gonna pick up the pad, and I'm gonna write something to it? Because obviously, you know, like a lot of like we were talking about how like there's like a lot of motivation in the records that you've been writing, like politically, et cetera, too.
For sure. You know what? I think I'm just somebody who really soaks in whatever it is that's going on around me. And so recently, actually after The System, my most recent two songs were called Amen and Shooting Stars. And so those songs really were responses to some of what's going on in the city, and um, the spike in gun crime, and the way in which I feel like my people in particular are sort of being targeted when it comes to certain conversations surrounding the spike in violence in the city. But I think I'm somebody who just feels a lot, and I just soak in a lot of energy. So I think it's always a product of the times, and whatever is going on, it makes me want to talk about it. I always have something to say on whatever's going on. So that's really where that's coming from. That inspires me to pick up a pen and a pad and write.
That's interesting, because I feel like we don't really have a lot of artists like that in the city. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's cool that you're becoming like a voice in that sense too.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
No, I think you are, because I feel like, with everything going on, I think that, we see it in the news, we see it in this, but then like in the music, we don't always have like many artists who can reflect and kind of like speak on things in like a way of reflection and kind of like moving like forward and whatnot. And I feel like that's what you're giving.
And I try to do it in a way where, I think there are a lot of artists who do it, but I think that there's a way to do it such that people understand what it is that you're saying. I think that there are a lot of artists who will feed you a lot of information, but might do it in a way in which it's very hard to understand. If you don't necessarily have to use the largest words in the world to try to prove a point. Sometimes it is using an example of real life, things, real life activities, and what's actually going on the ground to explain the same point, without using the theoretical, or rather the terminology for certain theories and et cetera that way.
Right.
We could do that too, but when it's communication that is your goal, you definitely want to make sure that people are understanding what it is that you're saying.
Right. Who do you feel like were some of your musical influences, like kind of getting into this?
For sure. Definitely Jay-Z, definitely Big Pun. Definitely Public Enemy. I'm a huge Public Enemy fan.
Word.
Tupac, of course, as I already said.
Yeah.
And you know what? I got to start giving Nicki Minaj a lot more credit. I really do. Definitely Nicki Minaj. I used to be a huge Nicki Minaj fan, like to the point where it was kind of
little barb situation.
Yeah, it was a little crazy at
little
one
barb
point.
situation. Oh no, not. You were leaking people's numbers and shit.
Let's just say I know the Trump Soho too well. It was a little crazy for a little minute, but
that's funny.
But I
know the Trump Soho a little too well.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
That's funny. I like how you said Pun too, because Pun I feel like is someone who doesn't like. Not he doesn't get credit, but like not a lot of people like say Pun in conversations like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think Big Pun is one of the greatest spitters to ever spit. And speak about a flow that is, so offbeat that it's on beat. I think he might be the king of that. I think the way he pieced words together and was just, I don't think anyone has had a flow like Big Pun since Big Pun. At all.
Trying to think. I don't think so either.
At all.
Rob, what do you think? No? Nope. Nah, and I agree. I think that Pun is just one of those figures in hip hop who, obviously gone way too soon, but was just also one of the most influential. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like more people gotta say his name, so that's why I think it's cool that you said his name.
Oh, most definitely Big Pun. And the fact that he was only making music for, I don't want to say a short period of time, because of course we know what goes into the grind. He was always really making music, but commercially, the commercial success for such a short period of time and can still go down in history the way he does.
Right.
You got to give Big Pun credit.
Right, word, 1,000%. I wanted to ask you, so were you like, when you were bumping Nicki heavy, right? Were you like one of the people who would like watch all the lyric videos and shit like that? Were you?
Oh, I knew every lyric.
You knew every word?
Every
we
lyric.
could throw on a Nicki song, you know every word?
You want to do it real quick? It got to be from the mixtape days.
You like old school.
I like old school Nicki.
I tell this story all the time. There was a girl who walked around my middle school with like a picture of Nicki, like old, like mixtape Nicki, right? And she would be like, "Do you love her?" And I would be like, "What?" And and I knew. So
she would just walk up to people with it and say, "Do you love her?"
With a piece of paper. Yeah.
Oh,
do you think she's pretty? And I'd be like, "Yes," but like,
but why are we doing this?
And then it's mad funny because like. That memory kind of unlocked like a few years back when I forgot I was in a conversation with someone, and like now that I think about it, I'm just like, damn, Nicki's fans have really been like that since the beginning.
No, it's true. It's true.
Shout out Nicki though.
Shout out to Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, shout out Nicki. Nicki gave me my first big interview post. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she posted like my interview with Malibu Mitch.
Beautiful.
From Rolling Loud when I asked Malibu like her top 5 MCs of all time. It was a couple years ago.
Okay, that's dope.
But Nicki gave me my first like real like big artist showing me love type shit.
That is awesome.
Big queens, I appreciate you. So music-wise, what are you working on now? What we kind of got cooking up? What's going on?
For sure. So I am now committed to, I've been releasing a project once a month, and we are gearing up to release my official debut project called Old Soul New Conscious this summer that I'm super, super excited about.
Love the name.
Thank you. As its name entails, I think it definitely encompasses a lot of old soul elements, a lot of new conscious elements, actually. I was going to explain that differently, but I guess it explains itself. But yeah, it's self-written, self-produced, and I'm really excited for people to hear it. There's some great R&B songs on there, and there's some great hardcore hip-hop music, and, you know, there's a lot of fusion sounds where it might sound like, you know, contemporary jazz mixed with hip-hop, mixed with even like house a little bit, some things you might not be able to put a label on, but I'm really just diving into eclectic sounds and eclectic sound design, so I'm excited for that too.
What do you mean by like eclectic sound design?
Just doing things differently, putting sounds together that I think most people might not think to put together. Different elements from different genres. I think one of my main goals has always been to try to somehow create, not necessarily a new genre, but try to create a sound that a lot of people haven't heard before.
Ooh, okay.
So that's definitely what I'm going for on this project.
Nice. And you said there's some R&B stuff on there?
Oh, definitely.
You singing?
Yeah, I'm doing a little singing on there.
Oh, okay.
Doing a little singing. Mm-hmm.
Okay. How's that sounding?
You know what? It's sounding pretty good. It sounded
Y'all heard
pretty
it?
good.
Sounding good? Glory. Nah, I'm excited for that. And so you trying to create like a new sound with this project. That's the goal with when you put this out into the world.
Definitely a new sound, and also, you know, my goal is just for it to be an introduction. I want it to be I wanted to embody everything that Raina Simone is and stands for. So that's one of my goals too. Because this is my first project, this is a project that I've essentially been working on for the entirety of my life, really.
Right.
It's all coming together now. So it's a very, very important project. I definitely think you'll learn everything that there is to know about Raina Simone, as well as hear a lot of new sounds and sound design. And hopefully, you know, you'll learn some new things too. It is a very sociopolitically focused project overall.
Nice. Is anybody else on the project with you, or is it just you?
No, it's just me.
Just you.
Just me, and a lot of songs.
We got to get you up with some people soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always open to working with artists, and there are a lot of things in the works too.
Word.
There are a lot of things in the works, but for the first project, I really did just want to showcase who Raina Simone is. And then, you know, once that is done and out of the way, of course, I can't wait to work with. There's so many people on my list to work with.
Who are some people on your list?
Oh, I definitely want to work with Lola Brooke. I love Lola Brooke.
Lola!
Love Lola
Sorry.
Brooke. I definitely want to work with Capella Gray too, just in terms of people in the city right now. But, you know, people like Robert Glasper are people I want to work with too. And, you know, on some contemporary jazz type music. But, yeah, I have a huge, very long list. Smino, Buddy.
Oh, Smino, yeah, Buddy.
Yeah, there are a lot of people I would like to work with.
Buddy might be coming up here soon too.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know.
That's gonna be a good one.
A little bit of a problem.
That's gonna be a good one.
But I like your list because like it's very diverse too. Even like you know, have you ever gotten to meet Lola? Have y'all ever gotten to speak yet?
You know what? We've met once at a showcase event and we got to speak, and she's super, super cool.
But beyond that, y'all haven't got to speak that much.
Not that much. But that was enough to, you know, you can tell a person's energy, and I love her energy. So.
I got you if you need to connect. I got you. I would love to see that happen.
I appreciate it.
Because I feel like right now, in terms of like New York City, I feel like the female MCs got it.
Oh, without a doubt.
I feel like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at Rob. Rob's nodding his head. Shout out cameraman Rob. Shout out producer Rob. Engineer Rob. He will say this with me. He'll back me up. There has never been one bad female on the radar freestyle. Look, he's shaking his head. We need to get a Rob cam one of these days. But there hasn't been a bad one yet. And obviously we know your joint is gonna go crazy too.
Oh, thank
you know what I'm saying? So I personally love what all the ladies got going on in the city right now, because all of y'all are so
100%.
different, and like all y'all have y'all own styles, and it's really just beautiful to see.
I love it, and I love that I love that people are really coming together too.
Yeah.
It's a really good scene right now. Women are finally getting the shine that they deserve, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and you better rip this freestyle. I'm excited for the people. Well, when this is out, it might already be out. When's your next single dropping again?
March 1st. It's called I Really Mean It.
I Really Mean It. So if you watch this, it's I Really Mean It. It's probably already out. Make sure you go stream that.
Check it out.
Go check it out. Before we sign off here for the day, is there anything else you want to let the people know?
You know, March 1st, I really mean it. I appreciate all of the love and support that I've received recently. I've definitely gotten a lot. You know, between the radio and Erykah Badu posted me the other day. Shaka
Oh, that happened the
Bars.
other day?
That
Wait,
happened
hold up. I missed that. Wait a second. Time out. Pause. Time out. Erykah Badu posted you?
Yeah, Erykah Badu posted me the other day. Shaka Bars posted me the other day. You know, there are a lot of things that have been taking place behind the scenes.
Congratulations.
And,
That's beautiful.
Thank you. But yeah, I just want to say I'm appreciative of everyone's love and support. And there's a lot to come. So I hope people stay tuned in and just know that we got a lot in store. And, you know, of course, shout out to Harlem World. Shout out to 2012. We always got to rep both Harlem and we got to rep North Jersey. And, you know, I appreciate and I love, you know, what I've been receiving. And I appreciate you too, Gabe. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm excited.
course.
You know, I think that you're really special. Like, I think that you have a sound that's going to transcend like a lot of what's going on right now. And I'm really excited to see what you do and where and how far you take it.
Thank you.
Because I see the vision.
Thank you.
Of course. So make sure you go run up that new single out now. Go check out the album this summer. Go check out the freestyle. Let the people know before you sign off where to follow you at in this camera right here.
All right. You can follow me at RSH on the beat. RSH on ONTHEBEAT. So the story behind that is I was a producer before I started actually rapping on the beats. And so I used to go by RSH on the beat. But it's officially Raina Simone now. However,
I think you gotta change it.
However, all the Raina Simones are taken. So I think I'm stuck right now with RSH on the beat until I can buy the Raina Simone from somebody.
Raina Simone official, Raina Simone _ music, Raina Simone. There's gotta be one available.
There was like underscore music, but I was like, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's Raina Simone. Is that one available?
No. But RSH on the beat, and I appreciate you guys.
Whoever got the Raina Simone account, she coming for that ass.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Just so you know,
coming.
in a couple years, she gonna throw a nice little bag your way. You gonna give her that account. Well, make sure you go follow her, go run everything up, go run up that freestyle. Until next time, Raina Simone on the radar.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
you.
Thank you.